Hi everybody, this is Tina. I had a dream today. Super interesting. Okay, lately the Lord's been having me study the Revelation 12, the woman, the child, and the dragon. And so, the scripture says that, God has prepared a place for her so that she will be nurtured there for 3.5 years, time and half a time. And in this dream, I'm like, whoa, like, oh, it was not what I expected, I mean, like, it's not going to be what anybody expected. Like, I thought after the rapture, we're going to go to heaven and live with the Lord and all that good stuff. And so, heaven is so much like Earth, it's not even funny, but it's more colorful and more vibrant. But it's so much like Earth. And then the thing is, in this dream, it started out me in a classroom, right? We're taking some classes or some tests, and there was a female teacher, and we're just trying to figure out a puzzle or figure out something. And I seemed like I knew the answer like right away, like there was like words all together. Well, there was a word, right? But the letter was mixed, and we're supposed to put the words together, see what the word means. And I was like mango, and I don't know if she said no, it's not mango, but it's tango or bingo or something like that. It was really weird. Like she's trying to help me figure out. She's trying to help me figure out, the circle of life. Basically, just to tell things of heavens, and we. Every time when I have a dream about classes, I think, because I don't go to school or anything about that, and I think these are heavenly classes that we're taking. Because I always pray for knowledge and wisdom, because God say people perish for lack of knowledge and wisdom. So I feel like every time I sleep and I have dreams about me taking classes, I'm actually, I think God is downloading things for me, and that's why I know things, and I'm like I don't even know where these things come from. Like, like I don't know, like some of my dream, like, okay, I must be learning something because I don't know where these things come from. I don't. And then I check out other people's video, and a lot of them are similar to mine. You know what I mean? So what happened was, there in like heaven, like I told you, it's telepathic. Everything is talking to emotion, thoughts. So you can't really hide anything. Everything is exposed. So that's why God say, if you hate your brother, or you're murder them in your heart, or if you look at a girl with, and lust after her, you're doing adultery. So what God is saying, control your thoughts right now, because in heaven you can't. It's gonna slip. It's gonna slip, and people are gonna easily get offended, and that's what I felt. I felt like I got offended by this girl, and because she was nagging on me, like she was like annoyed by me, and I didn't do anything to her, and I got pissed off at her. I was like, "What's your problem?" Like I rebuke her. I'm like, "What's your problem?" Blah blah blah, and I felt like I was swirling with her, and it was. And I knew that I had that to fix, like my anger and my bitterness. I need to fix that, because in heaven it's very easy to start fight, because everything is exposed. You see, like right now, like if I hate you, I'll smile, but in my time my head, I can think of something wicked, or or whatever, or you could hide things in your mind right now, but in heaven you can't really hide it. So if you have a nasty thought towards me, like, oh, this girl's annoying, she's such a b, or whatever, she's such a phony, whatever, like if you have any like hatred, I'll say hater player, okay? If you have that spirit, there's no way you're gonna hide that in heaven. So it's best that we adjust it right now, so that when we have less to fix in heaven, and then after that we're like testing new creations, like, or studying creation, like, vanilla. I was studying vanilla, where vanilla was made from, and I knew where vanilla is made from, but in the dream it was not where I expect vanilla was made from. You know what I mean? It was in this plant, this corn, or this under like the sea animal, the sea animal or something. The vanilla was made of sea animal. I'm like, what? It doesn't really make sense. Like, I don't know what's up with that. Like, I thought vanilla was made of this plant, but it's not made of this plant. It's made of this plant dash animal. And it was like, what? Like, things that we don't know. Like, things that we are like clueless. Like, we've been deceived, or we not deceived, or we don't know, or we're deceived or something. So a lot of the food um, that we eat, that we don't know it is where it's originate at. You know, people tell you one thing, but it's to promote and to sell and to get money. You know what I mean? People, money is root of all evil, and that God's been telling me that a lot. Like, people do things for money. It's not even funny. And so don't even try to stack yourself too much money because it's root of all evil. Why would you want evil around? Like, I literally don't have like a dollar on me. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean. I don't even have any money on me. Like, I try to get rid of all my money because money is not gonna be any use in the tribulation. It loses value. They're gonna throw in the street. It's gonna be a cutting crash. Money will have no value. You know, so get rid of it while you can. Stock on food while you can. And so what happened was I was transferred. I in the class I was the slowest one, and this girl was like annoyed with me because I was so slow. I was like, she was basically, oh, you're so stupid or you're so slow. Like, that's what the vibe I got from her. And I'm like, I was rebuking her. I was like, what's your problem? I didn't do anything to you. I'm sorry if I'm slow. I can't help that. We only have eternal here. Like, heaven is eternal. Like, well, how are you in a hurry? It's not like you have anything better to do. Like, everything is already programmed for us. Everything is already structured out for us to do. Like, we have a, we're basically we're like, you know, so like everybody had to wait for everybody to finish the test. There wasn't really no hurry because we only had eternal like forever. So I'm like, what's your point? Why you need a hurry? Like, it's not like, you're gonna have like, what I mean, like calm your butt kind of situation. I'm like, cool down. And in the real world, I'm always the last one to finish tests. And man, I really hope I wasn't like the last one to finish the test in heaven either. But seems like I'm always the last one. Like, seriously, I'm not. I'm always the last one and everything. I saw the last one to be on the airplane, like in the rapture. Alright, so basically the scene changed, and then I found myself in this big land. Um, it actually reminded me of a Noah's Ark. It was a big land floating on top of this earth or on a high mountain somewhere desolate from the world. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, when I woke up, I'm like, okay, this is the place God is preparing for His bride, so that we're gonna go there. This was not what I expected at all. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting it now. Like, after the rapture, I thought, we're gonna live good, live in paradise, and blah blah blah, and eating all that good stuff. But it was not, there was no pies. Okay, it was not a pie thing. It was like we had to live like third world country. Like, we had nothing on us. We only had a pair of clothes. We had nothing on us. But we're just kind of like waiting and just kind of like wandering around, and I don't know what we're waiting and prep to do, but we're definitely just like waiting for something for sure, like for something to complete. In this land mass, I don't know if it's like a circular, but obviously it's not like in a circular land that was floating on top of the earth, or somewhere in the high mountains somewhere that God have prepared for us, another place beside this earth or somewhere. I can't even tell you, but it looks like earth. Oh, sorry. And then and then so basically there was all different kind of race there, and there was not that much people there. And they had to eat like the time of Jesus, where the bread that like in a circular like this, that wasn't even bread, didn't have yeast. That was the kind of food we ate. Like, those food were not interesting at all. I'm like, Lord, at least some fruit trees. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind living on fruit trees, but we're eating food like that. Food was scarce. Like, there wasn't much food on that land, and the food that was on that land was not tasty at all. Okay, it was not interesting. There was no hamburger. It was like pretty pathetic, to be honest. But I didn't know, I don't know if that we don't have. I have a feeling that we don't have to eat, or we don't have to sleep. But again, I'm not really sure. But some people seem to be eating. Like, I felt like I didn't have to eat Like I didn't have to eat and I could stay alive or something. I don't know. It was really weird. Or maybe I do. Maybe I'm just not hungry at that minute. I don't really know. But people was playing hacky sacky with a little thing with sticks and whatever they found around that place. And interesting, there was a house or two there, and the voice says, "Do not covenant," and I do not want what other has. And I was like, man, lucky person whoever had that house, you know what I mean? And everybody else seemed to live like out in the street, you know? Everybody seemed to live in the street, or not in the street, but like it was like a forest. It was like a forest. Everybody was living in the forest. So it was like nice temperature, you know what I mean? So, it was like a stable place. I can't really tell you. It's like a nurturing place, but it wasn't much there. You know what I mean? It's not it was not what I expected. But then there was some nice areas like the nice grass field, like a field of grass, and but I was gonna go out the edge of it and try to fly out there and see what's up. But the minute I see that, I woke up. So that's what I was like. Darn it! I wanted to see what, but I knew that they're like, don't look out there, and then so what I understand, what underneath must be the earth or something. But this guy said that, all this belonged to this guy, and I know that belonged to Jesus. You know, what I mean, everything belonged to Jesus. Man, I'm like, man, I better get with that dude. You know what I mean? I'm like, that dude's rich. I better get with him. So I'm like, so everything belonged to Jesus. We got to get with Jesus. We got to get with him. What do I mean, get with him? Get to know him on a personal level. Like get to know him, like intimate, not like anything sexual, but I mean like get intimate with God, know him for who he is, and stuff like that, and so you know this place is where we're going to head after the rapture. It's better than hell on earth. Okay, compared to this house, I you know I'm just telling you, in that place we had nothing. We just had our body and our and our pair of clothing. Like it seemed like we didn't need anything, like food. We're not hungry and we don't need sleep. Like everything was given to us, like we don't, like we didn't really. I mean, it's nice to have those things, but it's like it doesn't really matter because the we really don't need those things, like in heaven once you. But people still like things of earth, you know what I mean, because they're so used to it, you know what I mean. But if you see the bigger picture, it's like it's kind of like we really don't need it, we just have ourselves and serve God because the most important thing is we have we have freedom, and a lot of people are still stuck to this world and material things, so they can't let go of this stuff. So they're kind of bind. They're kind of like stuck to this earth. Like they're prisons. They're like entrapped, or it's really weird. It's how can I explain? It's like if you think like this, okay? The reason why we have to, the reason why people are greedy in covenant is because this is what I understand. What I think the Lord, or I came up with this, or the Lord came up with this, or whatever what's going on. But the reason why there's so much evil in this world is because we have to eat and we have to sleep, and it's not pleasing weather. In heaven it's perfect weather. We don't have to eat nor we have to sleep, so we really don't have to work. Does that make sense? So, and then all our focus will be focused on God. Right now, if we don't work, okay, we're gonna be outside, cold, no house to live, and we have to eat or else we'll die, right? That's why we have to work, and then we have nice things, things to sustain us. But in heaven, you can just, poof, you get like something, But where I was, in brought into the place that was nurtured was not quite heaven yet. It was just a place to that we had to be there for a while before we be at our final destination, which is heaven. I don't know if we're going to heaven. We're definitely go back on the earth, but But definitely I think this land was like, it was like a big Noah ship on top of the earth somewhere. Like, to be honest, that's what I feel like. We were on this land that was on top of this earth, separated from this earth, and waiting until everything has like gone in destruction, or whatever. God clean it with water and with fire, whatever He cleans it with, the earth, to purify it with water, whatever, and they were going to be brought back down to the earth. But God's going to make everything new again. And so, the people that made in the rapture, which is very, very few, I'm like, it's ridiculously few. I'm like, what? Like, what the heck is this? You know what I mean? I don't know if this was represented in my Davenport, Iowa, or definitely not the whole. I'm hoping it's not the whole world, because if this is the whole world, dang, there was like nobody. You know what I mean? I think it's, I don't know, but there was not, maybe but there was not much people. I can tell you that. It was like ridiculous. There was not much people at all. I was like, what the heck is this? You know what I mean? Where's all the people? So, I think we might have to, you know, this is what I'm thinking, okay? That we're going to still be able to get married. We're probably going to still reproduce. Um, I had a feeling that we can still reproduce. Like, I feel like there was a pregnant girl up there, that we're still can reproduce, because God is a God of creating. He doesn't stop creating. If He did, He would be bored to death. And the thing is, He doesn't die easy. And Spirit is, so He's always creating. And I figured that if He had the child out of our body, we will learn to love it more, because it came out of our body and flesh, instead of taking it from the ground like Adam and Eve. So that's how God did it with that. With decide that if He has anybody to create, that it would come out of our own flesh, that we love and nurture it better. You know what I mean? Something like that. So I think there's still going to be marriage and whatever in the new millennium. There's still going to be marriage and this and that and the new earth. But I'm not really sure, 100% sure. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the one that is murder, like the one that still have their fleshy body, is going to reproduce, and the one that's dying as a martyr get it. I really don't know what is going on, but that's my dream. Like, I was at that place, and I thought it was interesting, because that's a place we're gonna go, and a lot of people is not going. This is not what a lot of. It definitely was not what I expected. Definitely for 3.5 years, you guys. Time and half a time. I don't know how long that is, but we're gonna be there. And so I'm like, I'd rather be, well, because we have everything here, you know what I mean? But then when up there, there's like nothing there. There's nothing. But it's enough to just let us go by, like live by, and I don't know.